for the first few days of the summit, the Western press pretended that it wasn't happening. But as it got bigger and bigger and the new acquisitions became more and more significant, Turkey, for example, a NATO member, now in BRICS, and speculation mounted that it will not be long before the first European Union and NATO member will join the BRICS, the Western media turned up the heat. The London Times called BRICS a grotesque summit. The Bild in Germany called BRICS a summit of scoundrels. And you could see scurrying like rats the British journalists from Sky News and from BBC scurrying around the conference, seeking to cause problems, seeking to embarrass people about their presence in Kazan, in Russia, for the BRICS. And I had myself now celebrated encounter with a youth, a 38-year-old youth, an Oxford University educated 38-year-old youth, but he might as well have been 16 with a pencil. He was a teenage scribbler who knew nothing about BRICS and cared even less about it. His purpose there was to go up to people with the microphone and ask them how they felt about being in Russia when Russia was committing all these crimes all over the world. But the BBC presence was even more pernicious. The BBC correspondent has been 30 years in Moscow, 30 years against Moscow. His purpose for the BBC, the British state mouthpiece BBC, is to do everything, anything that he can to disrupt anything positive happening in Russia, to lie for his master's voice that Russia is some kind of hellhole, some kind of authoritarian tyranny. And as I pointed out in the presence of President Vladimir Putin himself, it's a strange kind of tyranny where the BBC can bristle with hostility against the Russian president just 20 meters from him, whilst no Russian journalist or broadcaster is permitted to work at all in Britain, never mind at Westminster or Whitehall, never mind 20 meters away from the British Prime Minister.